Oh hi. Zambia, the state in South Africa. Malawi in the east, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana and Namibia in the south, Angola in the west borders on the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the north, Tanzania in the northeast, has no outlet to the sea. On October 24, 1964, the British Protectorate Northern Rhodesia declared independence within the British Commonwealth of Nations and replaced the name with modern. The capital of the state and the largest city is Lusaka. Official language English. Monetary unit Kwacha. During a colonial era, the country was called as Northern Rhodesia in honor of the British politician Cecil Rhodes. After declaration of independence in 1964, the country began to be called as Zambia from a gadronym of Zambezi. Zambia is located in South Africa. The state with tropical climate without outlet to the sea, located generally on the plateau. On the area, 752,614 km. Takes the 38th place in the world. The basin of the country of the Zambezi River proceeding along the western and southern borders occupies about 3/4 of the territory of the state, the rest belongs to a river basin of Congo. The insignificant territory in the northeast of the state belongs to the barred basin of the Lake Rukwa, which is in Tanzania. On border of Zambia with Zimbabwe on the Zambezi River falls, including the well-known Victoria Falls, are located. Subsoil of the country contains reserves of copper, cobalt, emeralds, gold, silver, uranium, lead, zinc, coal, manganese. Zambia is located within a subequatorial climatic belts. Within a year, accurate change of 3 seasons is observed. From May to July, a rather cool and dry season lasts. From August to October, hot and dry. From November to April, warm and damp. Kiesi. Temperatures of the warmest month, October. Make from 23 C in mountains up to 27 C in valleys of the Luangwa River and Kiesi. The Zambezi currents coldest, July. From 14 to 22 C, at night in mountainous areas frosts are possible. The amount of precipitation in general decreases from the northwest by the southeast from 1250 to 700 mm a year. More than 1500 mm of rainfall a year drop out on Navatreni slopes of mountains Muchinga. The most droughty regions of the country, the Valley Kiesi. Currents of the Zambezi rivers and Luangwa. 600-700 mm of rainfall a year. More than 80-90% of rainfall drop out from January to March. River network dense and branched. Street. 4/5 territories of the country belongs to the basin of the Zambezi River. From the source in the northwest of Zambia of the Zambezi River at first sea. Goes beyond, but to the south from 12 east proceeds by a southwest part of the country and along her southern border, excepting the largest inflows of Kofu and Luangwa. Below confluence of the Chobe River. Linyanti. To Zambezi Victoria Falls, one of the world's largest in width, are located. The territory of modern Zambia was populated since the most ancient times.
At the end of 1 millennium BB, the beginning Adpojanski tribes of collectors and hunters were disseminated by several streams of Massachusetts migrations of the Banchazichni tribes, which came from the north, from the central and western Africa, and also the southern tribes of Angona.
Zambia is considered one of the most ancient centers of emergence of metallurgy of iron in tropical Africa. In her territory before arrival of Europeans, there was a number of small early state and breeding associations. Lembe, East London, the Encore. With the high level of development of material culture.
At the end of the 17th century, in the northeast of Zambia, there was a strong independent early state formation of Kazembeland.
The state Tulozi. Baropsa.
Created to the middle of the 18th century along a middle part of headwaters of the Zambezi River, and existing still as semi-autonomous education. Barotseland as a part of the western province of Zambia was other very influential political education.
The first Europeans. The Portuguese dealers. Appeared in the territory of modern Zambia in the 18th century. They, and also the Arab merchants, bought slaves, ivory and copper. In the 19th century, this region interested Britain, Germany and Belgium. The greatest success in Zambia was achieved by the British. Since 1891, Barotseland. Nowadays it is the western province of Zambia. Became the British Protectorate. The same year Britain and Portugal signed a contract on the section of a river basin of Zambezi.
Opening at the end of the 19th century of the richest fields of copper and polymetallic ores stimulated penetration into Zambia of the British Southern African Company, the
SAC, created by Cecil Rhodes in this region. The company began to develop the local mining and copper industry, to construct the cities and the railroads.
The company received from the British government monopoly on development of the huge territory, from sources of Congo to Zambezi.
In 1895, territories where SAC worked received the name of Southern, Northwest and Northeast Rhodesia. The name formed from a surname of Rhodes. Two last were united in 1911 in Northern Rhodesia.
Only in 1924 Northern Rhodesia was given the official status of colony of the British Crown.
To the country the governor was appointed, with preservation of Protectorate Barotseland. In the 1920-30 years the colony successfully developed, thanks to mining and immigration of the white settlers basing farms.
In 1953-1963 Northern Rhodesia was included together with Southern Rhodesia and Nyasaland into Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland.
In 1963 Northern Rhodesia received the constitution and self-government.
At the beginning of 1964 elections of the Legislative Council, which the UNIP left-wing radical party under the leadership of Kenneth Kaunda held.
On October 24, 1964 the country gained independence and a name, the Republic of Zambia. Kenneth Kaunda became the president. In April 1967 Kaunda proclaimed the concept of creation of Zambian humanity. In this concept the capitalist form of economy instead of which state regulation took root was rejected. In November 1968 Kaunda dismissed parliament. Since 1969 nationalization process, first of all in key industry, the copper industry began. In December 1972 in Zambia the one-party system of board was introduced. Process of nationalization in various spheres of economy was continued. From the beginning of creation of Zambian humanity, more and more amplifying difficulties in country life, growth of consumer prices, increase in unemployment, deficiency of the main food began. Despite the ban since 1970 of strikes, the number of such protest actions grew. Zambia, having the largest natural resources, turned into one of the poorest countries of the world. In 1991 Kenneth Kaunda allowed to hold elections on a multi-party basis. These elections were won by the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, and on November 2, 1991 Kaunda lost the power. The era of creation of Zambian humanity came to the end.
The leader of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, trade union figure Frederick Chiluba, who subjected to sharp criticism Kaunda's policy, became the new president of Zambia.
He abolished the centralized management of economy, cancelled the state subsidies and began privatization of the nationalized enterprises.
The new head of state managed to keep popularity and to win presidential elections of 1996. However, next year the discontent of a part of society with policy of Chiluba developed into attempt of a military coup of which organization Kaunda was accused.
After several years of operation of martial law of Chiluba held new presidential elections. On January 2, 2002 Levi Patrick Mavanavusa, also the representative of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, became the new president. On June 29, 2008 in connection with a fatal disease of Mavanavusa the vice president, the representative of UNIP, Rupaya Banda began to fulfill duties of the president. After Mavanavusa's death on August 19, 2008 he won presidential elections and became the new president of Zambia. In 2011 regular presidential elections took place.
The victory was won by the candidate of the United National Party of Independence Michael Sata, who collected 43% of votes, while his rival Rupaya Banda -36%.
Michael Sata entered a position on September 23, 2011, but on October 28, 2014 died in London where he was on treatment. The Vice President Guy Scott became the interim acting president. On January 20, 2015 early presidential elections took place. The victory was won by the Minister of Defense and Justice Edgar Lungu. The term of his powers was 18 months, before the termination of the current presidential term. On August 11, 2016 regular presidential elections took place. Edgar Lungu, who collected 50.35% of votes, was elected the president. The inauguration was held on September 13, 2016.
Making the speech at an inauguration ceremony, Edgar Lungu said that within the next 5 years the country will start reorganization of single crop structure of economy, which is in excessive dependence on extraction of copper, to promote diversification of productions, development of agriculture and the private sector of economy.
The country has diplomatic relations with the Russian Federation.
Established with the USSR on October 30, 1964.
Zambia is the democratic republic with a multi-party system. According to Economist Intelligence Unit, the country in 2018 was classified under the Index of Democracy as the hybrid mode. The head of state, the head of the government and the supreme commander is the president, who is elected for a period of 5 years during direct elections, no more than 2 terms. He has the right to appoint and dismiss the cabinet and also the vice president, to resolve issues of war and peace, to convoke National Assembly, to veto the bills adopted by Parliament.
The National Assembly consists of 158 deputies, from whom are chosen 150 as a result of direct elections and 8 are appointed the president.
In case of rejection of the decision, the National Assembly can be dismissed by the President. All members of Parliament are elected for a period of 5 years. Administratively, the territory of Zambia is divided into 10 provinces. The population of Zambia makes about 14.5 million people, from whom Bemba of 21.5%, Tonga 11.3%, Irada 5.2%, other 45.9%.
Population density minus 19.3 people on km.
39.2% of the population of the country, 2011, live in the cities. In a sexual section, the insignificant prevalence of women, 50.03%, over men, 49.97%, 2012, is observed. 46.3% of the population belong to age group up to 15 years, 27.8% from 15 to 29 years, 15.6% from 30 to 44 years, 6% from 45 to 59 years, 2.9% from 60 to 74 years, 0.7% from 75 to 84 years, 0.1% minus 85 years and above. 2012. Average life expectancy. 2012. 49.6 years. Man. 52.8 years. Woman. 43.1 birth rate minus 43.1 on 1,000 inhabitants. 2012. Mortality minus 13.4 on 1,000 inhabitants. 2012. According to 2009, 13.5% of adult population, 15-49 years, are infected with a virus of an immunodeficiency. Economically active population makes 5,416,300 persons. 2011. That is 40.6% of the general population.
79.7% of economically active population workers aged from 15 up to 64 years make the number of women minus 43.7% of economically active population.
Unemployment makes more than 14%. 2006. Official. Bemba minus 35.1%, Inyanza minus 10.7%, Tonga minus 10.6%, Irad minus 5.7%, Lund minus 2.2%, Ikonda minus 2%, Tudiluvala minus 1.7%, English minus 1.7%.
Also, following languages are widespread.
Inenga minus 3.4%, Itumbuka minus 2.5%, Lala minus 2%, and about 60 more other native languages. About 26% of the population. On a census of 2000. Christianity. Catholics, Lutherans, Anglicans, Adventists, Pentecostals from the Assemblies of God, the Church of God, etc. And the Christian and African cults of 50–75%. Including Catholics -28% of the population of the country, as of 2005. Muslims make about 5%. There are adherents of Hinduism and Sikhs. Besides, there is a small amount of Jews, generally Ashkenaz. Adherents of belief of Abaka make 1.5% of the population. About 160,000 people. From anti-Trinitarians, Jehovah's Witnesses are widespread. The highest number of proclaimers in 2013 made over 1%. At Lord's Evening in 2013 there were people, 5.3% of the population. Natural resources: copper, cobalt, zinc, lead, coal, emeralds, gold, silver, uranium, hydroenergy resources.
Zambia, during an era of humanity construction, became the poorest country of the world. 82% of the population live below the poverty line.
At Kenneth Kaunda's government in the country, the socialist type of economy prevailed. After transition to a multi-party system in 1991, reforming of economy began. Transition to private business led to growth of economy. DDD per capita in 2009, $1.5 thousand. The 200th place in the world. Still 85% working or engaged in agriculture. 19% of DDD. Are cultivated corn, a sorghum, rice, peanut, sunflower, vegetables, tobacco, a cotton, a sugar cane, tapioca, coffee. The cattle, goats, pigs, a bird gets divorced. The industry. 6% working, 31% of DDD. Extraction of copper ore and other metals, processing of agricultural products. The monetary unit of Zambia, kwacha, consists from 100 angva.
On January 1, 2013, denomination of kwacha with change of her codes and ISO 4217 is made.
The new alphabetic codes. Old ANS. Digital -967. 894. Ratio of 1000 AMS. Ones. From banknotes 30 are removed and new banknotes are introduced by face value into circulation. 2, 5, 10, 20, 50 and 100 kwacha. Old banknotes were in use on an equal basis with new in the ratio according to the carried out denomination till July 15, 2013. Then they could be exchanged in the central bank without restriction of the sum. Registration and color scheme of new banknotes almost completely corresponds to an old series. In 2017, the volume of foreign trade of Zambia was $9.7 billion. On export, $8.5 billion. On import, positive balance of foreign trade $1.21 billion. Main export goods: copper, crude and refined, -74%, cobalt -2.4%, tobacco -2%, and also other agricultural products, sugar, corn, soy, etc. Main buyers: Switzerland -38%, China -15%, India -9.5%, the Republic of South Africa -7.3%. Main import goods.
Mineral raw materials -26%, including copper ore.
9.7%. And crude oil 4.6%. Products -7.6%, chemicals -21.6%, machines and the equipment -19.6%, vehicles -8.2%. Key suppliers. The Republic of South Africa -31%, the Democratic Republic of the Congo -21%, China -14%, Kuwait -5%. In 1964 Zambia became a state independent of Great Britain.
In the foreign policy, Zambia consistently supported anti-colonial movements in the southern part of Africa. It supported cancellation of the mode of apartheid in the Republic of South Africa and placed training the camp of insurgents of the Organization of the People of South-West Africa in the territory.
The Bible of the 19th century was the first book published in Zambia. Literature in the country developed thanks to the translations in the beginning. Some translators, such as Saul Platy in 50 Reditlade, translated a number of plays of William Shakespeare into language of Inyans. The State Broadcasting Company, ZB. Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, Zambian National Broadcasting Corporation.
Includes TV channels ZB-TV, ZB-TV, ZB Radio 1, ZB Radio 2, ZB Radio 4.
Such sports as track and field athletics, boxing, cricket and soccer are most widespread in Zambia. Zambia participates in the Summer Olympic Games since 1964. In 1964 under the name of Northern Rhodesia, all next years under the name of Zambia. At the Olympic Games in Los Angeles in 1984 Keith Mwila won a bronze medal in boxing. And in 1996 in Atlanta Samuel Matete won a silver medal in run on 400m with barriers. The soccer national team of Zambia in 2012 won the Cup of the African Nations. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.